God of Israel.
Amen.
Of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's a great day to be out here on the Lord's Sabbath day. Come on. The Lord. Not mine, but the Lord. You know what we're supposed to do? Get something counted for salvation. I'm going to give you the message today. It's the Great Tribulation. The Great Tribulation. I was kind of contemplating what the name is because I wanted to give you like a prelude of what's going to happen coming the Feast of Tabernacles. It kind of runs hand in hand when we talk about those trumpets on the feast. But this Great Tribulation, God's dealing with his seals when he's going to unleash destruction upon this earth. Unleash it. And most people don't understand. This is the reason why we keep the holy day. This is the reason why we keep it Sabbath, so we'll be in protection through our knowledge. Because we got to know what we're supposed to be at the right, know what we're supposed to be doing, and know what we're supposed to be. So we're going to start in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. Like I said, this is like a prelude from the Great Tribulation going to the Feast of Trumpets. All that's going to run hand in hand. Most of the world just think Jesus can come anytime. He can't come back anytime. All this stuff got to be fulfilled. We ain't even started. He hasn't even started unleashing those seals. So we're just trying to make sure you understand when a person come up to you and tell you, oh, Christ can come back anytime now. I can tell you don't know nothing about this book at all. You've been listening to them dumb preachers, them greedy dogs who always want your money but never give you knowledge enough to keep you. I don't want to be y'all. First of all, I don't want to be y'all leader. Understand what I'm saying? I'm not y'all leader. I'm led by Christ. He's my leader. We all been being led by Christ, period. That's it. He's the leader. So we got to make sure that we are able and equipped to lead others, if you understand what I'm saying. We got to all fall in line. All fall in line, but Christ is the ultimate leader. He's the ultimate leader. So we're going to Matthew chapter 24. We're going to start at verse 3. Verse 3, we're going to jump to 29. So we can understand this great tribulation and the events leading up to Christ. That's the problem with these people inside the churches. They think they're always looking at this last trump. You got 6 other trumpets to blow. That's right. 6 others. You got a lot of destruction in the earth, man. Believe it's going to be a lot of destruction. Ooh. These 2 days right here, you really going to see what's going on. So we're going to Matthew chapter 24. We're going to start at verse 3. Go ahead.
And as he sat up on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
One thing I like about this God, he gives you the answers before you take the test. He tells you everything that's going to hit this earth, even before it comes. That's why the scriptures say, he said, I'm the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. Everything that's written in the Old Testament, written in the New Testament. He's not going to be an unfair God. The people coming up in this generation, not warn the ones coming up in the last in the Old Testament. They all got the same book. But when you let these dumb preachers section you off to being a New Testament reader, instead of reading the whole book, they done took all your salvation away from it. Because you need both testaments. You need them to interpret these scriptures. I ain't going to sit up here and try to interpret this stuff with my mind. I can't interpret this. I got to read. Just like you got to read. Everybody got to read. That's when you come up to the time when people tell you, oh, Jesus come back any time now. You ain't reading. You ain't reading. You're illiterate according to the scriptures. And we're going to find out. Jump down to verse 29. Go ahead.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened,
Yes, sir.
and the moon shall not give her light. And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken.
Go ahead.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Jesus told you a very important thing here that most of the world don't know. He said, I'm coming immediately after what? The tribulation. But what the word tell you? It's a pre-trib. We're going to get out of here before he comes back. We're going to get out of here before the destruction hit the earth. That's a lie. He said immediately after the tribulation.
Yes, he said.
Then the Son of Man going to come, meaning that all these seals, trumpets got to blow, and the destruction got to hit this earth before he comes back. Everything. But what they tell you, hey, Jesus can come anytime now. We're going to find out he can't come anytime now. Go ahead.
And he shall send his angels with a great sound of the trumpet.
Yes, sir.
And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
See, when he come back, he's going to gather his elect from the four winds. He ain't talking about wind that's blowing. He's talking about nations. Right. Of all the four nations that's upon the earth, he's going to gather Israel up, the ones that got some knowledge. And they're going to be with him. Go ahead.
Verse 32. Now learn the parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh.
Yes, sir.
So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door.
So we talking about the season not being the same. That's one part of it, about how stuff is. Like you can see right now, some grass growing, some grass is not growing. I mean, even the trees don't know what to do because they done jacked up this world so much that he giving us signs about the actual land, about the difference of seasons. But jump down, go back up to verse 15, excuse me. Go back up to verse 15. We got to understand what Christ is talking about so you can have protection. Protection. This is the only reason why we're here today, y'all. To get this knowledge so you can be protected. You ain't got to wait on me. I ain't got to wait on you. When you see these signs, you need to go somewhere. You need to be in the right place at the right time. Don't think Jesus just, oh, he's going to save me wherever I am. Okay. Okay. You ain't reading this book if you think that. He said this beast's going to come out and he's going to wear the saints of God out in that 3.5 tribulation period. He's going to be whooping on them if you ain't in that right place. But go ahead. Verse 15.
When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand.
So even he telling you in the New Testament, you got to go back and refer back in the Old Testament. You got to refer to Daniel to understand what's going on in the tribulation period. That's a sign. Go ahead.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
Yes, sir.
Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house.
He said, once you see the abomination of desolation, you're going to find out that's the Pope of Rome. And when he comes in the Holy Land, which is Jerusalem, he's going to set up shop there. Jesus said, when you see him come, stop what you're doing. Don't get nothing, just start running.
Exactly. Start
running. Don't get nothing, just start running.
That's right.
Listen what he said here. Go ahead.
18. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
Yes, sir.
But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day.
You see what he said here? Don't even come back and get nothing, just start running. Because when this man of sin, which is going to come from Rome, we're going to find out, when he steps in that temple, believe me, he's going to persecute us where we've never seen this before. You know what I'm saying? What he's saying? And pay close attention when he said, pray ye, verse 20, he said, pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. So this time right here, the Sabbath is still valid. It's still valid. It's going to be happen when he about to start this great tribulation off. But most people don't know that. But read 21. This is what he said here.
For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world, to this time, no, not ever shall be.
He said this is going to be worse than any Holocaust. This is going to be worse than any slavery. This is going to be worse than any kind of killing you could ever see. Because these nations going to come down, they're going to unleash havoc on the world. And God's going to give them the authority to do so. He's going to give it. This is a tribulation period that the church don't know about. The Sunday churches. They don't understand what's going on. But we're going to refer, he said refer back to Daniel, but we're going to go in the New Testament, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 1. Even Paul written about this abomination of desolation. So they won't say, oh, he's going back in that Old Testament again. We're going to get the Old Testament, we're going to go back to Daniel. I'm going to show you in the New Testament, he talks about this man saying too, they're going to sit in the holy place. All of this for our knowledge, to understand what's going on. I want to know what's going on. I hope you do too. But most people don't want to know what's going on. They out of sight, out of mind. As long as I don't know about it, God ain't going to judge me for it. Yes, he will. Okay. Because he said this gospel shall be preached all over the world before I come. I mean, you're going to have an opportunity to hear this from somebody. It's just that you ain't paying no attention. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. We're going to start with verse 1. Go ahead.
Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, by our gathering together under him.
Yes, sir.
That ye be not soon shaken in mind.
Wait a minute. He said, the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. So he's talking about the coming of and gather, and he said, gathering together unto him. Go ahead.
That ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letters as from us, as that the day of Christ is at hand.
And it's at hand, y'all. Believe that. Go ahead.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. This
is the man of sin. You're talking about, meaning the abomination of desolation. They're going to sit over there in Jerusalem. He going to appear. But you got to have knowledge enough to know who he is by the scriptures. Because he going to see, he's seen right now, he's the most holiest person in the world. They kissing his hand. Every time they sin, they bowing down. He forgiving sins. And that's crazy. How a man gonna forgive sin? Oh, the Holy Father had forgiven the homosexual. They can come back into the church. Y'all hear it on the news. And he said, verse 3, he said, come a falling away, and the man of sin shall be revealed. Meaning that the church have fell off. They can't tell, they can't understand that two men can't marry each other. And two women can't marry each other. They can't understand this. They're falling away. They're teaching this stuff in the schools about homosexuality. They got homosexual books now, teaching your kids about this stuff. Because they want it to be natural. They want it to be a norm. And when this stuff is falling away, ain't nobody going back to this book teaching this. You're going to find out this man, like he did before in the past, he's going to ban these Bibles. Believe that. He's going to ban them. You can read these Bibles like he did back in Roman day. They killed a lot of Christians who wanted to follow the book. But the Pope was the only one that can read the book. We're going to show you history on that. Well, keep reading. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God, of that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
They said, man, Jeff, they ain't having it tonight. Ain't nobody worshiping the Pope like he God. He got you going to church on Sunday. Who gave you that? He got you celebrating Christmas. Who gave you that? He got you celebrating Good Friday, saying that Jesus died on Good Friday, resurrected up on Easter Sunday. Who gave you that? From the book of Daniel chapter 9, he said, my God, my Lord, which is Jesus, died in the middle of the week. Because he knows that he got to be in there for 3 whole days and 3 whole nights. Now you count Good Friday. It's early Sunday morning. That's some Chinese math. You get 3 days and 3 nights from that. You know what I'm saying? This is what he's talking about here. Well, jump down to verse 8. Let me show you something right here.
And then shall that wicked be revealed.
Yes, sir.
Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
So how long this man gonna be in power? Till the Lord come back. He's gonna be in power all the way to the end, because they're gonna give him all power. Let's go understand about this temple. Let's go to Revelation chapter 11 and verse 2, verse 1. Let's look at the temple the man is saying shall sit in. Oh, they won't go to Revelation, say that book sealed right there. That book sealed, you don't need to go in there, you don't know what they're talking about. We know what they're talking about. I love it. I remember when I was coming up, I read the whole book of Revelation, didn't understand nothing. So my pastor who was over me didn't teach me nothing about this. But we understand this. And you're going to understand it too. Revelation chapter 11, we're going to start with verse 1. Let's look at this temple that he's going to sit in. And I'm going to let you know, they are actually trying to build this temple right now. Build this temple. And Christ has told you about this temple he's going to sit in. Revelation chapter 11, verse 1. Go ahead.
And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of God.
Yes, sir.
And the altar, and them that worship therein.
Go ahead.
But the court which is without the temple leave out.
Yes, sir.
And measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months.
See, this is the temple that God told John. He said, look, the temple of the Gentile, leave that out. Let them have that. Because they got to fulfill this prophecy in Matthew chapter 24, talking about the abomination of desolation, which the man of sin gonna sit in there and call himself God. He said, leave that out. Right now, they got this thing called the temple institution. You go online. They're trying to get this temple built. And they think they're doing something holy. But they're not. They're fulfilling Bible prophecy when God said, but the court without of the temple, leave out and measure it not. That ain't a part of it. He said, it is given to the Gentiles, them so-called Edomites over there, who's supposed to think they're Edomites over there, who think they are the Jews, the real people. They trying to build this temple. He said, the holy shield shall be tread under the feet for 42 months. This is the tribulation period, how long it gonna last. 3.5 years, 42 months, not 7, as they tell us. So he telling us, giving us instructions on what must happen. So we're gonna break this whole thing down, and let's understand what's gonna happen in this 3.5 years. Let's go to Revelation chapter 5 and 1. I just want to let you know the location of that temple and how long he's going to sit over there and rule and wreak havoc upon this earth. Revelation 5 and verse 1. We understand this is the Great Tribulation period. Believe God wants you to have some fear about him, because he knows Israel. If we ain't scared of them, we'll do anything. We would do anything to please this flesh. That's why he said fear is the beginning. Fear of him is the beginning of knowledge. I don't want to get on that side. Revelation chapter 5 and verse 1. Let's understand what happened inside this 3.5 year when this man of sin sits in the temple of God. Go ahead.
And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the back side.
Yes, sir.
Sealed with 7 seals.
This right hand is of him that sit on the throne. That's the Father sitting on the throne. And he had a book in his hand. And this book in his hand is this Bible we're reading right now. Go ahead.
And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof?
Go ahead.
And no man in heaven, nor in earth, neither under the earth was able to open the book, neither to look thereon.
Go ahead.
And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders said unto me, Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
So you understand, Jesus had to come to loose those 7 seals. He had to come to die on the cross for us, and most of all, he came to give us this information so we can know what's going to hit this earth. These 7 seals are the same as the 7 trumpets, the 7 vials that you will read in here, but we're dealing with these 7 seals on what he's going to unleash at the time. So let's look at this. Let's go to Revelation chapter 6 and verse 1. We finished with that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Revelation 6 and verse 1. One book over. One thing I like about this God, he gave us the information. Yes, he give it. He tell us the answer before it happened. That's why Israel got to relay this to the word. I know it's hard sometimes, but say it and leave it. But go ahead, verse 1. Revelation 6 and verse 1.
And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the 4 beasts saying, Come and see.
Understand, the Lamb is who? Jesus. He said I give him a book to open. He's the only one who can open it. But understand one thing about it. Satan, he got the answer too now. He understands what's going on too. And believe he's going to try to trick you like he's going to try to trick people right now. Go ahead, verse 2.
And I saw, and behold, a white horse. He that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. And he went forth conquering and to conquer. This white horse that he sat on is Satan. He's the counterfeit. Because Jesus said he coming on a white horse too, right? So Satan got the same information. He said, I got to fool these. I'm coming on a white horse too. So he going to conquer. He conquering the world. God giving him the power to do so. But he got to fool you and me to follow him. Well, go ahead. Verse 3. And when he had opened the 2nd seal, I heard the 2nd beast say, Come and see.
Go ahead.
And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and they that should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
Go ahead.
And when he had opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand.
So understand that he getting absolute power. He coming with power. Horses mean power. How he delegating his authority. How he coming through and taking over the whole world. And he's going to say one thing right here about these great balances. Read verse 6. Go ahead.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. He's going to control the food upon this earth. Remember what he said in Revelation? He said you got to have the mark of the beast. If you don't have the mark of the beast, you won't be able to buy or sell unless you have it. He's going to control everything. Food, military, all of this. Right. So if you ain't in the place of safety, you're going to be running for your life for 3.5 years. There's going to be some people go through that tribulation period, but I don't want him to whoop on me that long. I'm going to be in the right place at the right time. But we're going to look, let's go back, let's go to Daniel. We're going to get back to these seals. Let's go to Daniel chapter 11. Daniel chapter 11 and verse 36. We're going to look at something. Let's find out this white horse, who he is. Who's on this white horse, excuse me. Daniel chapter 11 and verse 36. It is so simple to understand who's he talking about, because he gives you his characteristics and what he believes in and what he don't believe in, which is he believes in his law. He don't believe in God's law. This man of sin, which is going to come from Rome, which is the Pope, he believes in himself and what he said. And he believes in the God of our father, which is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We got a law
they uphold. Daniel chapter 11 and verse 36. Go ahead. Let's look at this man of sin. Go ahead.
And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods.
You see what he said? He said he shall magnify himself above every god. That means the God of Israel, our God. And he said against the God of gods. Ain't but one God of God, that's the God of Israel, period. Go ahead.
And shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished. For that is determined shall be done.
Understand, this man gonna have all the money, all the gold, all the natural resources, because he gonna head up this European economic community, which is them 10 toes in Daniel, which you might not understand what I'm talking about, but he gonna run this thing by their military. He's gonna be the religious figure. And right now, every time something go down in the world, who they call? The Pope, Papa. Who kissed the ring when they come to see him? Everybody, presidents, all of them, people on the street. They're going to show you who he is right here. Verse 37, go ahead.
Neither shall he regard the God of his father.
See what I'm saying? The God of his father. Go ahead.
Nor the desired woman, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all.
What religion tells you if you want to be a preacher or a minister or a pastor, you can't get married? The Catholics. He said right here, neither shall he regard the God of his father, nor the desired women. What minister you know that can't get married and call himself a minister? The Catholics. So he's telling you who he is. Go ahead.
But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces.
Understand the forces, his God of forces is the military. They're going to give him power to run the world. Go ahead.
And a God whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold and silver and with precious stones and pleasant things.
That's why it's not good for us to look at money like, oh man, look at that church over there. They got a lot of money. They got people coming to church with cars, Mercedes, nice suits and everything. This man right here got everything. Everything. And he said he's going to magnify. He said, but his estate shall be honor of the God of forces. He's going to control these forces, and the God whom his father knew not shall honor with gold. That man, the Catholic is the most richest organization ever. The most richest church organization ever. Ain't nobody got more money than they got. Nobody. Got over 1 billion some members. And these people that go to church on the Sunday, they don't understand that that's their dad. They don't even understand it. He gave you Christmas, he gave you Thanksgiving, he gave you Easter, he gave you all these pagan holidays. But you know what they say? Nah, ain't no wrong. Check them out December 25th, how they drag that Christmas tree up in their house. How they celebrate Jesus Christ, false birthday on December 25th. Where you get this from? Not out of here? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 39. Thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange God.
A strange God. We don't know the God of all these pagan days. We don't know this stuff. The God of all these pagan days are not in this book. We celebrate the God of the holy days. Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, Day of Atonement, Tabernacle, Pentecost. Those are the God, that's the God we celebrate, but they celebrate the God of Easter, Good Friday, Resurrection Sunday. They get real clever with this stuff. Christmas, they say, oh, it ain't Christmas no more. It's the Festival of Lights. Because they know Christmas is pagan if you go and research it for yourself. Now, we're going to change that. We're going to make it the Festival of Lights. They're real clever, man, to a dummy. Go ahead, bro.
Start 39. Thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange God.
Yes, sir.
Whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory. And he shall cause them to rule over many, and shall divide the land for gain.
He gonna divide the land from gain. Right? Understand this. Every place that the Catholics go into, what they do? They set up a church. And what people go there to do? Give money, think they're giving to the God of Israel. They give it to Satan himself. They don't even understand at all. Because we don't celebrate these strange gods at all. And he got plenty of this that mean green. Plenty. Go ahead, brother.